outing like that.
And a bittersweet Sunday for Elizabeth Kitley. Individually, she was awesome, as she usually is, but she didn't get the victory at the end of the day. How does she change that today?
Well, she's got to continue to go at them inside. She showed us her arsenal in the post, which was deep. She had a nice hook shot inside, some fadeaway jumpers. She was great on the boards. You see that, another double-double, and she leads the ACC in that category.
Second time in her career she's had 30 in a game, but the fly in the ointment, no buckets in the final 4 minutes. What stands out to you in our Toyota starting lineups today, Kelly?
Well, you look at the senior, Kai Crutchfield. She was a huge part of that comeback in the fourth quarter, had 8 straight points to help the Wolfpack get back into the lead.
No Elisa Cunane today, again for the Wolfpack, still out with COVID protocols, although she did make the trip. She did go through shoot-around, so that's a positive development if you're a Wolfpack fan thinking towards Monday night when the Cardinals will battle the Pack in a much-anticipated clash.
Well, you know, the coaches can't talk about that, Evan, but we analysts can talk about that game on Monday night. But an early miss right there from Virginia Tech, Azana Baines.
Well, look, that brings it up early. When you were playing at Notre Dame and you had UConn on Sunday, but you were playing, I don't know, a mediocre DePaul team on Thursday. Did you look ahead when you faced DePaul?
Well, here we go. We played Virginia Tech on a Saturday with Connecticut, #1 in the nation, on Monday on our home floor. And, you know, we had coaches that taught us along the way. You think about the game at hand. Muffet McGraw was excellent at that. And you know Wes Moore is doing the same thing with his ball club.
No score through 1 minute. It was a shootout in Raleigh on Sunday, 89-87. The Wolfpack coming down from 14 with 8 minutes to go to win it. Amor grabs the rebound, rips it away from Hobby.
And we know that Virginia Tech is going to put up a lot of threes. NC State, they lead this conference in three-point field goal percentage, but that you don't often see those kind of numbers being put up from the three-point line.
Big bucket for Georgia Amor to get the scoring started.
You go back to last Sunday, it was her three at the end of the game that put Virginia Tech into shooting range. They ended up with one possession that they could have tied it up, but it was a huge three, and that's a big one here tonight.
Cool moment here at Castle Coliseum before the game. A video played with Vanessa Panousis, the former three-point queen for the Hokies, congratulating Asia Shepherd on becoming the new three-point queen for the program. Kai Crutchfield's jumper too strong, but on the glass, it's going to stay at this end. The foul is going on Elizabeth Kitley.
Asia Shepherd surpassed that mark with her first three made in the game on Sunday against the Wolfpack. And it was just an incredible feat. She had tears in her eyes as she got a ball handed to her from Coach Kenny Brooks. And that's a big deal for a player to come in and be in the record books and at the top, especially in the category that you're best at.
And now she'll start hunting some of the great three-point shooters in the history of the ACC. Hobby inside, goes right at Kitley and scores.
All right, so Camille Hobby, she's got to have a big game. We saw her have a great game against them on Sunday, and that was important. Again, with Elisa Cunane out, you've got to find points from different players that come into this game, and Camille is a very capable post player.
Spinning to the bucket, Baines answers.
And on the flip side, Evan, it's that four position that Kenny Brooks has talked about. He says we've got players in every other position, but the four has to step up for us if we want to relieve pressure from Liz Kitley inside.
Brown Turner cannot connect, but on the glass, Hobby the rebound, dishes for the score. It's Brown Turner laying it in.
Another thing that they do better than anyone in the ACC is pass the ball, and post player to guard, I love it.
Camille Hobby with her fingerprints all over the opening 3 minutes of this game. Kitley kicks it out immediately. The double team came from Baines' defender there. It was Jones coming down. Now to Kitley, hits the cutting Baines, and she draws the foul. The Wolfpack bench wanted to travel.
Well, the rebounding was huge on the offensive end for Virginia Tech last game, but how about the offensive boards for NC State? Camille Hobby, as you said, just having a great first few minutes of this game.
Kitley from the elbow, no good, and the rebound tracked down by Jones. It's not like Camille Hobby racks up a ton of assists. That was her 4th assist of the entire season.
But when you're asked to play a lot more minutes, you start playing outside of yourself a little bit. And Camille Hobby hit a 3 in the game on Sunday, so that is not a bad shot for her outside.
Post players used to play on the post, Kelly, like you. Now they're outside shooters, too. We see it virtually everywhere in the league.
Well, and here's where the advantage comes is now you make a post player come out and defend you on the outside. And how about that defense from Hobby against Kitley?
Perez steps into the jumper and knocks it in. Reina Perez, the transfer from Cal State Fullerton, made a huge impact and gives NC State its first lead. Kelly, in these opening possessions, we've seen a change to how NC State is guarding Elizabeth Kitley when she gets the ball.
Immediate doubles. I asked Wes Moore, I said, that was the first game I've seen where Liz Kitley did not get doubled, and he kind of laughed at me. He said, well, we tried. We just didn't get there in time. And then when your post player has a 30-point performance against you, I think you're going to bring the double this time around.
Trying to go at Kitley, trying to pick up her second foul, and not aggressive defense from Liz, and Hobby takes advantage.
Well, nobody more excited on that Wolfpack bench than Erin Bath, the post coach, watching her little girl start to move so well on the inside and score against Liz Kitley, who's an incredible defender.
Foul on Crutchfield. The thing Wes Moore told us, he said after watching the film, he was very disappointed with the urgency and effort for the first 34 minutes. He said they were unbelievable down the stretch. They made some tough shots. But the defensive effort, and if you watch the game, you could see Coach Moore's body language on the bench. He was not pleased with the effort in their first game in 3 weeks, but a better effort at the outset today. The turnover ahead to Perez. Contact, no bucket, but 2 free throws for Perez on the other side of our first timeout. NC State on a quick 6-0 run to take. And they had some battles in high school. Most of the time, Liz got the better of the two in high school, but it's obviously Cunane who's had the edge in matchups in college. Virginia Tech's only beaten NC State one time. That was back in the ACC tournament 6 years ago. Last 7 meetings in the series have gone to the Pac, although the Hokies were so close to changing that on Sunday.
And what a gift, Evan. We've talked some about the strange schedule that you have to play back-to-back, the same team. But you've got to think, even though NC State lost that game, it's still a little bit of a confidence boost to know that you could have won that. And how about the passing post-to-post between Kitley and Baines inside?
Easy assist for Kitley. Baines with her second bucket.
And Kitley will have to continue to be a good passer in this game. We've seen how quickly she's getting attention from the defense. Take a second, kick it out, and then relocate.
Perez penetrating. Outside jumper is good for Kayla Jones.
Kayla Jones has such a versatile game. I mean, she can hit the 3. We saw that happen on Sunday quite a bit. Or she'll take you off the dribble, or she'll pull up mid-range. I mean, she really has every single part and is such a complete basketball player.
Well, the Kaylas are going to go back and forth. You get the sense. Kayla Jones at one end, Kayla King at the other. Both sharpshooters for their respective teams. Kayla Jones for NC State is now shooting 56% from 3 for the season, Kelly Dale.
And again, that makes her a very difficult player to guard because you've got to respect that 3-point shot.
Hobby goes right at Kitley again.
She is having a game. I hope her family is watching because baby girl is getting some serious time and she is making an impact.
Her family down in Jacksonville thinks it looks cold here in Blacksburg, and it is. Here's Kitley over the top on the offensive glass.
Well, if you cannot get some space by a quick delivery from the top, that's a great way to get a good look at the basket. Stay all over the offensive glass.
Perez rejected the screen, takes it all the way to the cup.
Reina Perez, just a great addition to this team. What a player that Coach Wes Moore got when she transferred from Cal State Fullerton.
Amore, the freshman, to answer no, and Perez the other way. playing a role reminiscent of the one Taja Cole played for Virginia Tech here last year.
I was 2 seconds away from saying that. And you know, that's what Kenny told us, the luxury that he had with Taj Cole coming in last season, a seasoned point guard. He didn't have to teach her all the things that he's now had to teach his freshman point guard, Georgia Amoore, who is, by the way, incredibly talented, but just a freshman.
Taking her lumps, but certainly making some huge plays, too. Kitley catches in the perimeter this time. Sheppard. Quiet so far. Instead, King from the other side buries a three.
And that's what you'll get. You got Virginia Tech with great spacing. The ball goes down to Kitley. She takes the second, lets the double team come, and now your defense has to shift. With those 2 quick passes, the three-point shooter's open.
We were scoreless after a couple minutes, but now this is looking more on pace for another 89-87 final. Sheppard the steal, going at Perez. Little Euro step, no! And Hobby finds the rebound.
Great to see the Hokies in transition. I joked with Wes Moore saying you held the Hokies to no transition points in the game on Sunday, which is not characteristic of this Hokie team.
Kenny Brooks said he's worked more on the secondary break this year. That's gotten them some buckets.
Yeah, he said in all the years of coaching, he has never put in a secondary break, only a primary break. His words to his team are go, go, go. But now he wants to slow it down, and I think that's wise against a team like this.
Kitley's going to try it. And Jones skied Perez, her teammate, for the rebound. Virginia Tech came so close on Sunday to knocking off a top team. They're going to have to slow down Camille Hobby. She's on fire here in the opening quarter.
Oh, I was just watching her when she was at the high post, and I thought she looked exhausted. She hasn't played this many minutes. Remember, this was a team that was on a 21-day pause before that game on Sunday. You got to think their legs are going to be a factor, but Camille Hobby, no problem when she gets the ball.
Sheppard now 0 for 3, missing a couple good looks these last 2 trips. Inside to Jones, good pivot. And the rebound ricochets to Perez, who takes it. Another long rebound finds Jones. Will the third time be the charm on this trip for the Pack? Now about a 4.5-second differential with the game in shot clock. Perez letting the clock wind down. Uses the Jones screen. A little pick and pop for Kayla Jones. She grazes the iron. The Hokies have 3 seconds. And De'Asia Gregg traveled, uncertain about the situation, giving the Wolfpack a gift. They're going to get a blob here with 3 seconds to go.
Yeah, she thought that was the game, and in fact, it was the shot clock. And NC State, let's see if they can capitalize on this. Excuse me, I don't mean the game, I mean the quarter.
Crutchfield gets it in, and Boyd's runner won't go as time expires. Pretty entertaining first 10 minutes, Kelly.
Unbelievable. A lot of offense, a lot of defense. This has been a terrific quarter. To the SID, who said that her first basket she made, it was just a layup. She was giddy afterward, and there's mom in the stands watching from afar. And even though she doesn't get to watch her daughter play, she's a huge supporter of the Wolfpack.
Well, let's set one thing straight. Elisa Kinane always has a smile on her face.
Yeah, that's a good
her
point.
Nickname, Big Smile. But she was ebullient after making the layup and shoot around, we were told. Just euphoric to be able to get back on the court.
That was an amazing word, by the way. I'm a Notre Dame grad, and I'm not even sure I've heard that one, Evan.
Neither am I.
You are incredible.
Just making it up as I go along.
It's that Wake Forest edge you got.
Hope it works out. Air ball thrown up there from NC State. Here's Kitley. No double team comes this time. A pretty good one-on-one defense by Jakia Brown-Turner.
How about the rebound by Jada Boyd? Just grabbed it.
NC State only turned it over twice in the opening quarter, but a careless giveaway there for Wes Moore's team. What he has done in his 8 years at NC State, it's absolutely remarkable. He's got 53 true road wins since taking the job, averaging about 7 road wins a year in the ACC. And road wins don't come easy in the ACC.
And when you look at his numbers, he just continues to get better and better. Look at that. There it is right there. How about that graph for you? Sitting at the number 2 ranked team in the country. Only the second time the Wolfpack have been ranked that high. They've never been number 1. Of course, that sets us up for Monday. Obviously, they got to come away with this one with a win in order for that to happen.
I wonder how graphics operators are going to handle the fact that the Wolfpack this year might be 17-2 or 19-0, but they still be fewer losses than last year, fewer wins. So how do they figure that out? Brown Turner gets 2 inside to extend the lead.
You know, the Wolfpack had never lost in points in the paint at all this season until Sunday, last Sunday, because of what Liz Kitley was able to do. Asia Shepard was able to get in the paint. But today, they have turned that around, and they are dominating in the paint.
12-6 so far in the points in the paint department in favor of the Wolfpack. Jada Rice, the last bucket for the Wolfpack. Now the shot clock winding down, and that's going to be a 30-second violation.
Tremendous defense on that one. The high hedge to get Perez to just think about it for a while, and then Kayla King jumping the passing lane and deflecting the ball to slow down the time. Great defense.
How do you think Wes Moore feels about his defense so far? He said that his goal is to hold folks to 60. Well, yeah, Hokies are on a 60-point pace thereabouts. Here's Amor. Nice dish inside the Baines, who puts it in.
Aside from that play right there, I think his defense has been terrific. You know, they've done a much better job at slowing down Liz Kitley. They're bringing the double quickly. They're defending along the three-point line, something they did not do on Sunday.
2 assists for Amor, 6 points for Baines. Here's Brown Turner going to work on King, who defends pretty well. Brown Turner perseveres, and King denies her. Now the clock down to 3. Crutchfield fires. And the rebound for Virginia Tech's Greg. Feeling the mojo right now for the Hokies, but Shepard can't continue with the 3.
And she's got to keep shooting. And how about the transition?
Great pass, better catch.
Yeah. Terrific run out there by NC State. And how about she rejects the screen, finds Baines inside, dishes it off, and that's an easy look. And that's coming off of the stop on defense. And that's what Virginia Tech just did. 2 stops in a row. And unfortunately, they were not able to connect on that second attempt down the floor. But they're going to need to put those kind of runs together in this game if they want to come out with a win.
The foul was on Georgia Amor, her first. And neither free throw would go for Jada Rice, but she gets her own rebound.
You don't see that very often.
You do not. Rice gives it to the slasher, and Boyd will get back to the line. Jada found Jada, creates some more Wolfpack free throws.
Jada Boyd really has picked up her game more recently. In the last 3 conference games, she's averaging 15 points and 7 boards. And just an incredible increase. And remember, she was out for a couple games, had a meniscal injury, and they missed her. But she's been an important piece to the NC State success here recently.
Double figures for the 3rd straight game, the 5th time this year on Sunday. Talking about Jada Boyd and Jada Rice. Here's Deja Green for Virginia Tech. Six-point lead for the Wolfpack. Asia Shepard getting a few minutes on the bench here. She played all 40 on Sunday in Raleigh. Here's Amor from the corner, knocks it down.
And Liz Kitley on the bench, too. So nice to see some offense going from a few other players right now.
Got to imagine Kenny Brooks breathes a sigh of relief just to get that bucket. At least get some points on the board with Kitley and Shepherd on the pine.
Yeah, 100%. You know, there was a game that Georgia Amoore played against Notre Dame the first time they met, and she looked like a superstar. And that's another Virginia Tech Hokie defense forcing a turnover. Terrific job by the Hokies.
Traveling violation there. Neil Hobby's back in for the Pack. 8 first quarter points for Hobby, who's now guarding Baines.
That's a great point, Evan. And now she doesn't have Kitley to go against. We'll see how Baines does against her defensively when they travel down to the other end of the court.
Baines will try a three. Rebound tipped and controlled by Hobby. Perez does such a great job of putting pressure on the opponent, generating more free throws here.
And Perez was a shooter when she was a point guard at Cal State Fullerton. Almost 20 points a game is what she averaged. Here, she's only averaging 9 a game, but that's because that's not her role. She had to be a shoot-first point guard back there. She also obviously distributed. She was also the facilitator, but now she is much more concerned about finding the right pass. However, I love seeing her on the attack and transition.
Georgia Amoore to the bench with 2 fouls. Now Amoore and Shepherd both out. Kitley did just check back in. Yeah, it was funny when Perez was asked, what do you know about NC State when you got the call from Wes Moore? She said, I hadn't really heard of NC State before. Got a voicemail from Coach Moore. She wasn't going to reply, and it was her brother that said, hey, you're the ACC champs. You got to return that call.
I love that, by the way, that the brother was following the ACC and women's basketball in general. And tell you what, it's not going to be long before everyone in this nation knows about NC State women's basketball.
Let's be honest. If they win today and they beat Louisville on Monday, they're the number one team in the land for the first time in school history.
And that's a huge deal, and we asked Coach Moore about that, and of course he gave us the appropriate response. You know, we don't think about that stuff and, you know, too much, and he's right. You know, that's what a good head coach does. They teach those players how to respond even to something like that, but it's been earned. This is a great team, and he's recruited some incredibly talented kids.
Crutchfield to the corner for Jones. A rare miss from beyond the arc for Jones, but Kayla King couldn't keep it in bounds. You know, yes, Wes Moore and all of his players would much rather be number 1 at the end of March, the beginning of April, than in January, February. But Wolfpack fans around the world would take a ton of pride in NC State rising to the top of the AP poll in women's hoops.
I mean, you got to think, they've already knocked off a number 1 team in South Carolina.
Sure.
A very good South Carolina team. That has to be to their benefit going in on Monday.
Nice jumper, Jada Boyd in the scorebook. Man, not too many teams get a chance to beat multiple top-ranked opponents in the same season. That's on the table for the Wolfpack, assuming the Cardinals don't slip up in Chapel Hill.
They had
that's a tough game.
2 close games, Miami and Wake Forest. Brought them to the wire.
Beg your pardon, that game is in Louisville. They're at home for the Tar Heels tonight.
Yeah.
Kitley inside, and they've done a pretty good job defensively on her, and yet the Hokies hanging around despite Kitley just has 2 and Shepherd has not scored.
I'd love Liz Kitley to take just a second longer to see what she has, and Camille Hobby is having a day. Taking time, using that pivot foot, adjusting herself, her body, going up strong.
Virginia Tech wanted an offensive foul, and here's the unfortunate thing. I think if Elizabeth Kitley falls backward on her bum, she gets the call. I mean, that's the situation where if she flops a little bit, she gets the call. Certainly a little.
Your offensive rebound and finish it off, Liz Kitley. Absolutely protecting the paint.
The Hokies have 6 assists on their 8 field goals. And if I had told Kenny Brooks, look, 4 minutes to go in the first half, Kitley and Shepherd have combined for 2, you're down 7, he'd probably think he was down 17 or more.
Absolutely. I mean, it's what they need, though. But they need those other players to step up at this point in the game. And you know Kitley's going to get hers, and you know Shepherd will get hot.
There's the former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, Ralph Kitley. Played professionally in Germany after playing 3 years for Bob Stack and 1 year for Dave Odom at Wake Forest. His daughter Liz, one of the rising stars on the national scene in women's college basketball.
We had a great conversation with Kenny yesterday just about her, just the way she has blossomed as a post player. You know, he said, when I first saw her in high school, she could barely walk and chew gum at the same time. And she has put in the work. She's a student of the game. She's constantly wanting to get better. And Kenny Brooks spends a lot of time with her, developing her as a post player, teaching her how to see the game differently.
Virginia Tech recruited actively both Canaan, who ended up going to NC State, and of course Kitley. Kenny said I could write a book on how that process unfolded. And he also said we should mention that Liz is his second favorite Kitley. Liz has an older sister, Rabin, who's autistic, and Kenny Brooks stands by. Rabin is his favorite Kitley. Liz is number 2. And not just because Liz only has 2 points right now. It's always day in, day out. Big fan of the Kitley family. He also raved about the Canaan family. He said one of his favorite home visits of all time was going to the Canaan's house, sitting in their living room, chatting with them.
That's a special time when you get the head coaches in your home. There's Mrs. Kitley, or excuse me, Miss Canaan right there, and being able to just share a meal together, talk about your daughter, get to know each other. But I also will say, he says he remembers the day exactly where he was, what he was wearing when Liz Kitley made her acceptance to Virginia Tech.
You were recruited. You also did recruiting as a coach. When the coach goes home, does the coach bring the food or buy the food, or does mom and dad cook?
Mom and dad cooked at our house. I don't know how it usually worked. Well, dad didn't cook. Sorry, dad. I think he's listening right now. My parents, by the way, in Hawaii. Don't feel bad for them in the middle of this snowstorm we're having here in Blacksburg.
Oh, aloha.
And they are watching Fox Sports out there.
29-22, NC State in front, just dominating on the glass right now. On the drive, Kitley, pretty good defense to guard without picking up the foul, and Crutchfield couldn't finish. Kayla King's had the hot hand, buries another. She's keeping the Hokies in this one, Kelly.
Well, the drag screen there got her open, and all she needs is a little bit of time, a little bit of space, and she's able to knock it down. She's been consistent.
Kayla King, multiple threes in each of her last 5 games. That's an offensive foul on NC State. Meanwhile, King 3 for 3 from 3 in the first half today as Greg takes the hit. And the Hokies, again, getting limited offense from their 2 stars, hanging tough.
Great defensive stand there, taking the contact, and those are the energy plays that you need when you're playing the number 2 team in the country. I think Virginia Tech's got to go inside to Liz Kitley on this possession.
King through the Bain screen. Baines to Kitley at the elbow. Now sets the screen. Dribble, it's Green. Tough shot. Did not catch any iron, and that'll be a shot clock violation. What do you think of Kitley passing from the elbow both those times?
I want her to shoot, and I think Kenny Brooks is saying shoot the ball right there. And if she's not going to shoot, I'd love for her to put the ball on the floor. You know, she's got the quickness, and I think she could beat Camille Hobby off the dribble, get into the bucket.
Crutchfield inside to Hobby. 10 points in the half already for Camille. And she traveled this time.
And a good change up on the defensive end. Running Deja Green inside. She doesn't go for the full double, but she gets a hand in there to slow her down.
Curious how you feel about Kitley's post defense. Every time they throw it to Hobby, I'm thinking, oh, she's trying to pick up that second foul. Kitley's done a really nice job defending with that foul.
And that's what you have to do. When you're an elite player, you have to be very mindful of not getting into foul trouble because your team needs you so much. And I know she hasn't scored a whole lot, Evan, but even her presence on the floor, defensively even, just her standing in the middle of the paint, or what she's been able to open up on offense because she's getting the doubles and she's making great reads out of them.
Wes Moore was dismayed by that last foul call, sending Baines to the line. Azana Baines, the Duke transfer, 1 of 2. She's had a good half, though, Baines has. Whistle at the other end. Stops the clock with $1:26 remaining in the half. 9 first-half points for Baines. She and King each have 9. Amor has 6. Kitley has 2. And I don't mean to harp on it, but I haven't watched Virginia Tech be this competitive without Kitley and Shepherd doing their thing.
And that's exactly what Kenny's been talking about, that they need people to step up and fill those positions. And so, again, even though he's not getting those numbers, he has to be pleased watching these other players step up.
Kayla King just picked up her first foul. And Brown Turner sinks one of the 2. Wolfpack's largest lead was 7. Hokies had a 3-point lead early. First half played within a 10-point window with $1:10 to play. Baines met by a pretty good double team there, and she turns it over.
And you got to go up with that shot. I mean, Azana Baines is terrific. When she's leaning in, the floater, she's been great. And I know you love to pass. I know you want to get Kitley involved, but that was a good drive. You made your defender have to make a tough move and go ahead and finish it.
Well, it's an interesting half from a scoring standpoint for the Wolfpack, too. I mean, Kai Crutchfield, who scored 20 on Sunday, she has not scored. Hobby is the leading scorer for the Pack with 10.
I don't think anybody would have believed you if you said that before this game, but that's what you want to see.
Offensive foul on Brown Turner this time, and that's her second personal.
You can tell that there's a huge emphasis on defense for the Hokies in this game in particular. When you've got 3 players that scored over 20 points on you last game, you got to pick up the D a little bit, and Virginia Tech has done that. Great job preparing for this Wolfpack team.
Kayla Kings especially played some really nice perimeter defense, staying in front of the dribbler. Kitley traveled. 6th Hokie turnover of the half.
And that's just one where she's just forcing it right there. She wants to score. She knows she can. But, let the offense move a little bit. Pass it out, repost on the block, see what you have.
Game clock and shot clock are virtually in sync. Crutchfield 0 for 3 from the floor, has not scored in the half. With 3 seconds, Crutchfield to the corner. In and out. And Rice's 3 would not fall at the buzzer. So we go to the break with Wes Moore's Wolfpack in front by only 4. Another competitive game between the Hokies and the Wolfpack, meeting for the second time in 96 hours. Why don't they play again 4 days from now? We'll take this matchup whenever we get it. Good ball game here in Blacksburg.
Yeah, the words that were said, but yeah, watch out, Wes Moore, because Asia Shepherd is about to heat up, as is Liz Kitley. I think, you do not often see her in the single digits after a first half, and 2 points for her on 1 of 7 shooting. It's not been pretty for the Hokies, but here they are, down 4 to the number 2 team in the country.
I mean, Shepherd was kind of on the verge of tears pregame, emotional after watching Vanessa Panousis' video. But I'd certainly give the Wolfpack defense more credit for Shepherd's quiet first half statistically. Kitley doubled. Nice pass to Baines, but good defense inside by Perez to poke it away. 10 seconds to shoot here under the bucket for the Hokies.
And that's what Kitley does when she steps away from the paint. Look at the space. She opens up for Baines to come down the middle and receive the pass.
Oh, got to feed Kitley there on the post, Kayla King. She was open. Or when I say open, I mean only guarded by one defender.
That's wide open in her book.
Perez bolting past Baines to the bucket.
Don't forget about Reina Perez. I know she does not stand very tall, but I'll tell you what, she can get to the basket quickly, as can Asia Shepherd. And how about some points on the board for the senior?
Look out now, folks. Asia Shepherd usually only needs one for the floodgates to open. Her first bucket of the game. Only played 14 minutes in the first half. Did pick up 2 fouls.
Few in foul trouble. Georgia Amor also with 2.
Kitley picked up a foul in the first minute, but never picked up number 2. Played pretty good defense with the foul. Perez going to work, traveled. A lot of times players get away with that extra step, but Amor did not. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, that is a huge argument among people. Is that extra step a travel? I mean, this is like a post move that we learned. Look at this. Up, under, and that's not a travel.
I think it is.
So does my husband.
You're a post player. She changed her pivot foot. It's a great call by Mae Forsberg.
Totally disagree.
Baines, an offensive rebound to Kitley for 2.
Well, that's the only way that she's been able to score so far in this game, is on the offensive glass. You got to credit that NC State defense. They're doing a great job of just surrounding her when she gets the ball.
You and I are going to get Debbie Williamson on the line to settle this dispute. Maybe later tonight.
She's probably listening right now. I have her
officials.
I wrote down her number when we were on that Zoom call. You better believe it.
Well, it's going to be unfortunate when she calls to let you know you're mistaken.
Oh, gosh.
The play-by-play guy got it right.
I have some tissue if you need it when you start crying. I know how you get emotional.
I do.
When you're wrong.
2 minutes gone in the second half. We got a 2-point game here at Cassell Coliseum with the number 2 team in the country again getting tested by the Hokies.
Oh, give her the ball.
Baines, no.
Man.
King the offensive rebound. Now Shepherd will take it.
Yep.
Got it. First lead for the Hokies since the score was 5-4.
You knew it wouldn't take long. Asia Shepherd was quiet in that first half, but she is starting to heat up.
Brown Turner to the bucket, +1.
So that's what's been working right now for NC State, attacking the glass. Either you're going to get people in foul trouble, like what just happened there, or you get an easy high percentage shot, and that's what Westmore wants. This is a team that leads the conference in field goal percentage. They take good shots.
8 points so far this afternoon for Jakia after she scored 23 on Sunday. And by the way, that was the second personal on Kayla King. So now all 3 Hokie guards have 2. Here's Shepherd heating up. Gives it to Baines, who finds Amor inside Kitley. Double doesn't come. Kitley misses it short. Gets her own rebound and then gets tied up. And it'll be Wolfpack ball. The possession arrow.
You said it. The only time I think we've seen Kitley with the ball on the block and no double came.
There's like a sense of anticipation now every time she gets the ball. How are the Wolfpack going to play it?
Well, so Kenny Brooks, after the Notre Dame game that we called last week, I saw him afterward, and he was like, can you even imagine what Liz could do if she did not have a double come every single time? You know, he's like, imagine you doing something and 2 people were on you at all times. Well, then we saw that on Sunday. NC State chose not to double.
Oh, great play by Crutchfield, saving it off of Shepherd to create a new possession. But to that point, I like the way you put it during the Notre Dame-Virginia Tech game last week when you and I were here. How hard post players have to work before they get the ball. And then Kitley gets it, and she always, almost always has two players surrounding her.
Yeah, there's so much work on the physical end. I mean, you put in time with your strength and conditioning coach.
Pretty good double team there by Amor to create the steal. The Aussie freshman, Georgia Amor, finds King. Loose ball. Tipped into the backcourt. That's a legal play. 15 to shoot for the Hokies.
Attack the rim.
Amor kicks it. Sheppard, step back. Kayla Jones, the rebound, and brings it up herself. 6 minutes to go in the third, and that's an offensive foul on Crutchfield. Number 2 on Kai.
We've seen the Hokies now with multiple charges taken on the defensive end. We've seen Georgia Amor, I think, take 2 of those.
The Hokies have been passionate defensively this afternoon.
You've got to commit to defense. You know, it's not pretty. People don't come to play basketball to play defense. You don't,
And I'll say the Wolfpack have been too. I mean, they've embraced Wes Moore's mentality that they weren't good enough on Sunday. Kitley doubled by Jones. 3 seconds is the call to give it back to the Pack.
And I think this was an excellent read here. It came late. Liz got the ball. She made a move, and then Kayla Jones came, and the double came, and that made Liz Kitley start to think a little bit more, and then she didn't have anyone to pass to.
On the drive, Brown-Turner no, and Kitley grabs the rebound. I mean, Liz has been a walking double-double lately, but today, 4 points, 4 rebounds. And yet the Hokies are right there, which is incredible. De'Asia Gray knocks down the 3. She hadn't played since December 6th until she jumped in the lineup last Thursday. 37 minutes the last couple of games, and that ginormous 3-ball right there.
6 points for her in the game on Sunday, and she's starting to become an offensive threat for this Hokie team.
Amor pokes it away, dives on the floor, and then trying to dish it out. Perez anticipates it and steals 2 for NC State.
What a change of momentum that was for Reina Perez. I mean, you could tell Virginia Tech, they were about to take it down and score, but Reina Perez just shut it down.
It's a foul on NC State away from the ball, which lets us catch our breaths. Kelly Deo, we are lucky.
Year where she has been a full, like she's had full-on attention from the league.
Yeah.
Usually she's got somebody with her. You know, Coach Kenny Brooks told us, you know, she's not had to become a leader. You know, she's not had to necessarily be the floor leader. She's had to emerge into that. And that's what we're starting to see from her a little bit more this season, is her taking that senior leadership and actually being a great facilitator for her team.
4:21 to play. Looking for our 4th lead change of the second half, and Sheppard was blocked. It was deflected out of bounds, and they're going to give it to NC State.
How about the rebounding, the box out there for NC State? What a change. As I said, Virginia Tech out-rebounded them. Only the second time that's happened all season long, and the Hokies had 14 offensive rebounds against NC State. That has never happened before.
Wes Moore's teams are known for doing all the little things right. Crutchfield, no good. Rebound inside for Gregg, and she finds a guard. Here's Amor. A little giddy up to her step to Sheppard. Trying to get it to Kitley. Instead, cross court. It's Amor for 3.
I mean, Evan, this team has all the components of a great team. They've got a great point guard who can distribute and score. Kayla King, who's just lights out from outside. Sheppard, forget about it.
A great defense by Kitley, rejecting Kayla Jones. Sheppard, the trailer, wasn't open. Looking for Gregg inside. It's deflected. It'll remain with the Hokies. Check out this D from Liz Kitley.
On the drive, Liz Kitley does not have the quickness advantage on that one, so go ahead and use your height advantage with the block.
Shepherd off the screen, takes it. Halfway down, popped out, and the rebound for Jada Boyd. Kind of shocked that one didn't go in. They say she was in the act of shooting there. She got cross-checked in the middle of the lane by King. Third foul on Kayla King. And 2 free throws here for NC State. To revisit a point that you made wisely in the open, Kelly, Virginia Tech, it's silly that they're currently 12th in the ACC standings with the talent they have. I mean, their last 5 ACC losses have been by a total of 16 points. All 7 of their ACC losses have been by 10 or less. 7 losses in their last 8. 6 of them have been by 6 points or less. 2 possession games, 1 possession games, 1 heartbreaker after another. And yet, despite that, they're 7-7. Yeah. And of all the ACC teams in the national net rankings, they are the 4th highest ACC teams in those rankings. So what does that tell you? They are in that elite tier.
Absolutely.
They just have to show it.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a team I rated high in my preseason ranking, and for what I thought was good reason. Because of this, what you're seeing, they've just, and look at that, yeah, great defensive stand there. NC State needed that.
3 on Asia Shepherd.
That's a big foul. And, you know, we asked Kenny Brooks about this. We said, what is it that you guys have not been able to get over the hump? And he said, the teams we play have great senior or junior leadership. They're veterans. We don't necessarily have that right now, but we're growing into that.
Crutchfield for 3. Puts it in. Kai Crutchfield has been quiet today. That's her first bucket.
And remember, this is the player that strung 8 points together in that 4th quarter to start that 11-0 comeback.
That was ridiculous. Inside, great pass, better finish, and the foul for Kitley.
So that's where I prefer Liz Kitley to get the pass. Not with her back to the basket, but give her an angle. Look at this. High, you're going to play high side? Great pass, leading her to the bucket, and she's able to finish.
Boyd picks up her second foul as Kitley looks to tie the game again at the line. Kitley 72% from the line this season. Top 3 in the league in both scoring and rebounding and blocks. Just a sophomore. And we're tied again, 42 all, with 2:10 to play in the third. Great anticipation, Baines the steal, and she's all alone. Hokies lead.
And again, those complementary players stepping up, but it's starting on defense, Evan.
Tara Baines coming to play today. She's the leading scorer for the Hokies with 11. First Hokie in double figures today. King and Amor each have 9. Kitley with 7. Shepherd with 5. Nice pass to Jones, and she traveled. 14th NC State turnover. Here's the D by Baines.
Great job, just batting down the pass, playing high side.
She don't need no point guard to take it down the floor for her.
I love that she's the leading scorer right now. I mean, this is all Kenny Brooks has needed, is somebody else to step up.
Been waiting for it. Kitley, great catch, better block, wow. And it's Crutchfield at 5'9", rejecting the 6'5" Kitley.
That's just great timing. How about that? Look at the great lead pass. And Crutchfield, out of nowhere, just bats it away.
Hey, will Liz's teammates give her a hard time for that one in the film?
Oh, 100%. All right, I mean, those are the shame, right? I mean, when a guard blocks your shot, if you're a post player, and I was one,
not
that hurts.
It's not 5'4" Raina Perez. Crutchfield's 5'9", but still.
It's true.
Amor looking for Kitley inside, a little off with that feed, trying to force it. NC State led by 4 at the half. Trailing by 2 now as we close in on a minute to play in the third.
Yeah, we need to see Camille Hobby with the ball again.
Great point on the drive. Boyd can't finish. Nearly gets her own rebound, but it's taken by Michaela Ennis.
Now, how many post touches did we see early on in that first quarter with Hobby with the ball, but they have gone away from it.
By the way, happy birthday, Michaela Ennis. Today's her 20th. Amor's three, too strong. Rebound, Baines. A chance to give it back to Kitley there. Trying to reset. Asia Shepard stealing some more minutes on the bench, out with 3 fouls. Kayla King 2, and yet the Hokies still leading. Amor's shot halfway down, and the foul on the Hokies. Is it Kitley? No, it is Ennis. That's good news for the Hokie fans. Instead of being Kitley's second, it goes on Ennis. That's her first.
And so now the Hokies have a chance right now to give a solid 18 seconds on a defensive stand to keep the lead going into the end of this quarter.
Certainly momentum can change in these situations. Crutchfield to the bucket with a left hand, count it, plus the foul. Oh, goodness, Kai Crutchfield making the big-time bucket.
This is where NC State has had the advantage all game long, going to the rack, getting inside the paint, drawing fouls. KJ's excited on the bench. Crutchfield for a chance at a three-point play.
Crutchfield in her 103rd game as a Wolfpack. Gives NC State the lead. 4 seconds. Shepard's back in. Asia Shepard, 274 career threes from midcourt. Not this time, and we will go to the fourth in a one-point game. NC State clinging to their perfect record, up by 1 as we take the turn for home. Kelly, obviously I was in South Bend last night, your alma mater. Virginia Tech Hokies men's basketball got a great win. The first thing Mike Bray, the coach of the Irish, said after the game, said, I don't want to see these guys again. Talking about the Hokies. I think regardless of the result of this game, Wes Moore is not going to have any interest in seeing Kenny Brooks' team anytime soon.
I think they're one of the scariest teams on anybody's schedule because they have so much capability. And how about Reina Perez? She's coming up big in these moments. I mean, you think of that quick steal she had at the end of that third quarter and then the layup. She has really come on in this game.
She's the leading scorer in the ball game for either side. 13 points for the grad transfer Perez. Kitley on the fadeaway for 2.
We saw a lot of that in the game on Sunday, a step-back fadeaway. She's not had the angles that I think she's wanted to have in this offense. That's a tough angle. That fall-away shoot, yeah.
What was the 115
I think
shot?
that was the 115, yeah.
Coach Brooks was telling us about.
Yeah, it's
saying Liz is way smarter than me. That's what Kenny Brooks said. She's got the angle. She's like a human protractor. She knows exactly where everything is. Number of degrees each angle is on the floor. Hokies looking to tie it back up or perhaps take the lead with a 3. King and Shepard both playing with 3 fouls. And Kitley in a good spot. Cannot convert. Brown Turner the rebound. Brown Turner trying to do it herself. Takes it right at Baines. And it'll be Virginia Tech ball. Wes Moore arguing it was out off the Hokies, but on the baseline, Kevin Dillard saying, no, it was out of bounds before it touched a Hokie. Amor back in for Greg, who's given Kenny Brooks some tough minutes.
Yeah.
18 minutes so far this afternoon for Greg. 3 points, 4 rebounds. Played hard.
And that's all you can ask from a player that comes in and plays limited minutes. Just use your minutes wisely.
Amor, no. I think one day Amor's going to have some great stories about all the great point guards she battled as a freshman. Not just her old teammate Dara Mabry, but Reina Perez and Wake's Gina Conti and Dana Evans, obviously, with Louisville. You can't forget about her. Oh, there's a new aspect to Hobby's game. The baseline, Jay, from about 18 feet.
She's not getting the ball inside, we've seen in the second half. So show us a little bit of your outside game, Camille.
And I got it, Tiana Mayakahi. I can't forget her. And there are others in this conference as well, veteran guards that have made life tough on Amor throughout the season. Here's Amor, though. Better for the battles. And it'll stay Hokies ball. Last touch by Hobby, who just made the bucket at the other end. Check this out.
She was a huge part of NC State's offense early on. She gets the ball, and then Kitley doesn't come out on her, so why not? Not a three, just a step inside that two-point circle, but...
Hobby 6 and 9, 12 points. King with a hand in her face. Won't go, and Hobby grabs rebound number 7.
Both times now, Liz Kitley has not touched the ball on either possession for Virginia Tech, and that's when I start worrying about Virginia Tech, when people start just taking shots outside that are well contested.
Crutchfield short. Amor grabs another rebound, and she gets drilled in the backcourt. I don't know about you, Kelly, but I'm feeling a little nervous. I mean, the stakes in the next 6 minutes and 46 seconds for both these teams are massive. NC State, obviously, gigantic game on Monday. Number 1 versus number 2. If both teams can win today, they'll stay top 2 in the polls. And the ACC has had number 1 and number 2 so many times in the history of the league. A chance for another remarkable showcase on national TV. But you feel for Virginia Tech. You want Elizabeth Kitley and Kenny Brooks to taste that success too.
Yeah, over a number 2 team, and regardless of whether or not they've got Elisa Canane on the bench, that feeling, or on the floor, excuse me, that feeling of beating a number 2 team is that's not going to go away. That's a confidence builder for this program.
Hobby looking for Jones, finds her. Back outside, Boyd. Airballs it, and Kitley grabs her 7th rebound. Up ahead, Shepherd. Nice move to the 10. Double clutch for 2.
And Perez was about to take that charge. What an incredibly athletic play to avoid the defense and still put it in.
Defying gravity, Asia Shepherd on the rim rack. Here's Perez, hangs in the air, doesn't get the bounce, and it's staying here, and this is going to be the 4th on Kayla King. Called for the foul, trying to box out Hobby.
I mean, just watch this. Look at this. Avoids the charge and just scoops it in off the glass. That is an athlete right there.
So King is going to the bench. Gregg's coming back in here. 4 fouls for King, who has not scored in the second half. Made 3 threes in the first couple quarters. And another foul called on the inbounds pass. They got Baines this time. Second on Baines. Travel called on Perez.
That was terrific defense by Kitley. Nobody was coming out to Reina Perez. You cannot forget about the inbounder. She was about to get a shot, but Kitley wisely steps out and forces the travel. All right, get a post touch, please. There, start it there.
Kicks it quickly to Shepherd. Rebound battle controlled by Brown-Turner. Hokies assistant coach Sean Poppy imploring Virginia Tech to get back because he saw that coming. Hobby matches her career high with 14 points.
What a wise transition play there. She sees there's a lot of congestion on the other end of the floor, and she takes advantage.
Shepherd rejected from behind by Crutchfield. Coming up big in the 4th quarter again at both ends of the floor.
2 blocks now for the guard.
NC State looking to create some separation here.
She's open. Oh. Camille Hobby wide open inside.
Jones will step back. Rebound controlled by Baines.
I'd love to see more from Jones. That shot is okay for me, but I'd love her to have the ball in her hands in these next 4.5 minutes.
Timeout taken by Kenny Brooks. We will take it to 4:19.
Wolfpack in scoring, 14 points. She's got 7 boards. She's 7 of 10 from the field. She's been incredible. She's got an assist, a steal. She has been a huge bright spot for this Wolfpack team.
Kitley in and out. Another rebound for Hobby. Has got 14 points and 8 boards. Misspoke before. She has not matched her career high. She's set a new career high. Another rebound there for Kitley, her 8th. Kitley 2 rebounds away from another double-double.
Good shot selection here right now for Virginia Tech.
How do you feel if Kitley took that 3?
There you go. Get her the ball.
Amor, no. Rebound for Hobby.
And that's not a bad shot at all. Her defender was off of her, trying to dissuade her from passing the ball into Kitley. And now Virginia Tech, they got to get a stop.
Wolfpack by 2 with the ball. Hobby. It's been her day.
I mean, the bench over there they are so proud of Camille Hobby right now. I'll say it again. When you practice against a player like Elisa Kinane every day, you cannot help but elevate your game. And she just needed an opportunity.
Hokies really needed that one from Gregg. Didn't get it. Shepard couldn't stick it back in. It was last touch, though, by Jones. So the Hokies will get to talk about this possession. 18 in the shot clock, 2:45 left in the game. Camille Hobby having her best game as a college basketball player. 16 and 9, filling in for the All-American. What a performance. Clubs that you don't want to meet in the Coliseum, but there's a lot of teams in this league you can say that about.
I mean, you look at the parity, just even in those games on Sunday, right? The number 1 almost went down to Wake Forest, and then number 2, Virginia Tech was just about to beat NC State, and they could not do it. But a lot of parity. I think that speaks so highly of this league, especially when you think you've got the number 1 and 2 team in the nation in this ACC conference.
All right, Hokies down by 4, 2:45 to play. Critical possession here. Hokies haven't scored in about 3.5 minutes, Kelly.
Yeah, Azana Baines was too low. If she had come high, her defender would not be there and help. And instead, that's not a bad shot, but I think they could have been looking in on that last possession.
Hokies just one of their last 8. And the Wolfpack could make it really tough here with another hoop.
Wisely letting the shot clock go down.
Raina Perez looking to create. Perez, no. Rebound battle. Who touched it last? Hokies ball. And they're going to take a look at it. With 1:57 to go, that is allowed. And I say, watching it live, I thought it hit Kitley last. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, from here and that angle.
That's close.
That is close. The call on the floor, of course, is Virginia Tech ball.
I mean, I still think it hit Kitley last.
That finger maybe right there.
But there's nothing indisputable about that.
That's right. That's a good point.
So you can't tell. You may think it's one way or another, but the call on the floor has to stand. I
mean, we get to do this when it is slowed down to that degree. These guys have to do it in real time. I mean, that's incredible.
Frame by frame. You know, the way Hobby's arm went, you'd think she touched it last, and they are going to keep it with the Hokies. I kind of wish there was a loudspeaker a la football and we could hear whether the call was confirmed or whether the call
standing in the middle of the court. I like that. That's something to...
A couple decades away from that,
maybe. Still, though, a huge possession right now for the Hokies. I mean, either NC State gets another opportunity to extend the lead, or Virginia Tech now gets a chance to shorten it up.
Asia Shepherd, her quietest game of the year, inside to Kitley. Great position and a strong take.
So that time, everyone on the outside, on the perimeter. If you go and help, now you've got a shooter that you're going to be late to go get. That was a great possession and play by Kenny Brooks and his team.
13 and 8 for Liz Kitley. Hobby's got 16 and 9. By narrow margins, I think it's fair to say she's won the matchup, but there's still 75 seconds to play. Jones comes up short, and the rebound for Baines.
And Jones just lost a shoe.
Shoeless Kayla out there trying to guard Baines, who's now got the ball. With a shoe in her hand, she plays D. Not sure Azana realized it.
I was just going to say.
Shepherd for the lead. Yes! Hokies back in front with under a minute to play.
Asia Shepherd, when it counts, she will come alive.
Shepherd into double figures with 10, and she's got multiple threes again. Hobby unable to answer, and Shepherd the rebound.
And I'm not sure that's what NC State wants on that possession. I'm not saying, I know Hobby's hit a three, right? So I know she's a good shooter, but use your clock, get a better shot.
Timeout, Virginia Tech. We may see a lot of timeouts, Kelly, in the next 30 seconds because there are a plethora remaining. But I'm in no hurry for this game to end because it has been a classic.
So look at this. This time, Azana Baines comes up to screen on the ball. That leaves no defender down there to double. Great call and great play. She gets finally a wide open look. And then the kick out to Shepherd. Again, the inside-outside action opens your shooters up. And Virginia Tech, one of the best in the conference in that area. That was in between two people. Look at this. I mean, perfectly placed. Sorry, just over one, over Camille Hobby. But wow, I mean, over the fingertips of Hobby. And then she goes in strong. Looks like she got hit in the face on that one.
She gets hit in the face almost every game. But she's 2 for 2 from the line today. And this is a big one here to try to stretch the lead to 3. Shot clock is off. Wes Moore has all the timeouts he could ever want. We'll see if he uses one. He'll take one here. Program. And his team is being pushed to the limit here today. Down by 3 with 22 seconds to go.
In the game on Sunday. They have hit 3 today.
14 of 29 and then 3 of 14 against the same opponent with the same personnel 96 hours later. And the Hokies have only beaten the Wolfpack one time in the history of the program. They're 11 seconds away from doing it again and picking up a signature win when they desperately need it. They tried to give the foul, didn't call it. Brown turn.
I mean, NC State almost self-destructed on that play. And you know what, Evan? When you said who should the ball go into, you look at the stats right now. Camille Hobby's having a day. So I wanted to say her, but she's not been in these later withal to catch the ball, get her feet set, and then go ahead and knock it down. Look at Kayla Jones is crying, everybody. Go ahead, attack the basket, draw fouls, and try to get to the foul line even.
Wow, what a shot by Hobby. Camille Hobby, the sophomore from Jacksonville.
Great place. That was good, better defense, but they ran that same play, bringing Baines up to the ball screen, trying to look for Kitley with those angles.
Hokies looking for the first bucket of the extra session. Shepherd, got it!
All right, so Virginia Tech's got to use that right now. You just scored. Now go ahead and get a stop on defense. Dig in. This is what they've been doing all game long. Their defense has been terrific.
Kayla Jones goes right at Baines and draws the foul. Number 3 on Baines.
Great drive by Jones. Shots have just not been falling for her tonight. Uncharacteristic, as we often see Kayla Jones as a huge contributor on the offensive end.
Kayla Jones, 22 points on Sunday, just 3 points in regulation today. She does have 11 rebounds.
And you got to start thinking foul trouble, too, right now.
Right.
You go into overtime, you've got Amor with 4, King with 4, and then Hobby with 4. I'll tell you what, the way Hobby's playing, I'm going after Liz Kitley, trying to get Hobby her 5th.
And all 3 of those players have been phenomenal today. Hobby has been the standout. Without question, her best game as a member of the pack. Shepherd to Kitley for 2.
Great play. They isolate on the corner, the screen and roll, just Shepherd and Kitley. And you got to decide how you're going to defend that. Kitley wide open.
4 assists now for Shepherd. Kitley with 17 points, 9 boards, battling with Hobby inside.
Look at that. Look at, she's pointing, telling her where she wants the ball.
Brown Turner to the basket. Got it.
And that's because of Camille Hobby and what she's doing inside. She is occupying Liz Kitley, so she cannot come in and help. And that way, she gets a one-on-one drive into the bucket.
Kitley doubled. Floats the pass to Baines. The Duke transfer. Makes a move. Gets it to go. And the foul. Kelly, as good as Hobby has been for NC State, Baines has been an unlikely hero for Virginia Tech.
This has been the story of those complementary players stepping up and making plays. None bigger than that right now for Baines in this game.
Makes the free throw to complete the three-point play. And the Hokies, here with 3:15 to go in overtime, have their largest lead of the game. Brown Turner on the attack, draws the foul, and if it's on Amor, it's her 5th. And it is. Amor, 34 minutes, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and she will be a spectator for the final 3:07 and however else long it takes after that.
She had a great game, and in comes Deja Green, the transfer. But oftentimes what Kenny Brooks will do in this situation is move Asia Shepherd to that point guard position. So I'll be curious to see what they do on the offensive end. And how about the missed shot here by Brown Turner?
Wolfpack have missed 7 free throws in the game. They're 12 of 19. And she missed them both. Hokies by 5 with the ball. 3 minutes to go in overtime. Shepherd, as you suspected, taking over at point. Kitley was calling for it. Resets.
She is working hard. Look at that.
Kitley doubled, finds Baines, power dribble, double comes on Baines, Kitley with 5 to shoot. Kitley forced it up, and there's no whistle.
And the crowd here cannot believe it.
Hobby inside, has the mismatch, and missed the bunny.
Asia Shepherd on her back. I think she expected Kitley. Wow.
Hobby, 9 of 13 from the field before that one. Made the 3 to tie as the final buzzer sounded in the 4th. I've got a feeling this possession belongs to Asia Shepherd. And she draws contact on Crutchfield and will get herself to the line.
Well, that's what we saw NC State do multiple times. Shakia Brown Turner driving in and just little touch fouls. The officiating has been very even on both sides. And great drive by Shepherd to get the foul trouble right now for NC State.
Tell you what, Kelly, you just can't say enough about how hard Virginia Tech has continued to battle, not just today, throughout this stretch in which they've lost 7 of 8 games. one painful, excruciating heartbreaker after another. And yet here they are in position to hand the Wolfpack their first loss since last February.
You know, and oftentimes that's what it takes. Having to go through this kind of adversity to dig down deep, right? You can start asking yourself the hard questions. And can you get over that hump? And right now, Virginia Tech's got a couple minutes to answer that question.
1 of 2 at the line for Sheppard. Not that time for Jones. Sneaking in for the rebound was Green.
Yeah, keep the ball in Sheppard's hands right now.
Last loss for the Wolfpack, February 24th of 2020, 70-65 against the Duke Blue Devils. And 16 straight since then. Here's Sheppard. Big shot, Asia Sheppard. That might be the dagger.
Not a point in the first half. Look at the Virginia Tech leader from 3. She is fired up and trying to get her team the win against the number 2 team in the country.
Asia Sheppard, it's a Canadian being out. But Asia Sheppard has been the story in OT, with the Hokies outscoring the Wolfpack 12-3 in the overtime.
17 points in the second half in OT alone. And she is an emotional player. So when she gets going, one good thing happens after another. And I said at the beginning, at the tip in overtime, I said, I'm fearful that Virginia Tech will play on their heels. They have done anything but that. I mean, they have been spectacular.
Kenny Brooks has won 20 games each of his 4 years at Virginia Tech. They certainly would have been in the dance last year if the tournament hadn't been canceled. Changed the culture here in Blacksburg, and this would be a signature victory for Kenny Brooks in his tenure at the helm of the Hokies.
So we saw 8 straight points.
We know the Wolfpack can rally fast. Brown Turner makes it a 7-point game. And Sheppard was fouled with 1:07 remaining. And Sheppard will shoot 2. Asia's 1 of 2 at the line today. 84% on the season.
Right now, you're also starting to worry about your shooters getting in foul trouble. Crutchfield, that's 4. Reina Perez, 0 fouls. You got to get her running after the ball so that you got Crutchfield to try to continue her late game heroics like she did in the fourth quarter of that game on Sunday.
Hokies are an excellent free throw shooting team. 10 of 12 today. Back up by 9. Perez kicks it. Brown Turner sticks it. With a minute to go in the overtime, Wes Moore uses his penultimate timeout. The Wolfpack back within 6.
And that's how quickly it can happen. When you've got a team that shoots the ball with this kind of consistency, number 1 in the ACC in three-point field goal percentage. Now, we've said they have not hit a ton today in this game. That was just the 5th 3. Again, 14 threes in the game on Sunday. We know they're capable, and they will need all of those threes to start falling.
Look in her eye right now.
I mean, but here we go again. Just a few seconds ticked off the clock there. And, you know, if you got to think, even if these go in and they can hit a 3, it's little by little that they can get back into this game for NC State.
I don't know about you, Kelly. I don't got anywhere to be. Let's stick around here as long as it takes.
Good.
Sheppard takes them both. She's up to 21 now. Excellent free throw shooting from Virginia Tech. 8-point lead. Perez to Jones this time. Races past Kitley, who fouled her. And Jones has a chance for a 3-point play.
And we know that Kenny Brooks is just shaking his head on that one. That's the last thing you want to do is stop the clock and give an opportunity for points.
I mean, if you're Kitley, you feel like you can block the shot, but you almost have to let her go.
That's right.
This could cut it to 5. Jones does it. Full court pressure. 45 seconds to go. An eternity remaining into Sheppard. Fouled by Crutchfield. And that's 5 on Kai Crutchfield, so she will watch from the bench the rest of the way.
I know that's disappointing for Crutchfield. She'd had a difficult game, 2 of 8 from the floor, 6 points for her.
Don't forget the 3 blocks, though.
Yeah, that's right.
She had 0 blocks on the season coming into the day. She blocked 3 shots. Wes Moore taking his time to pick a replacement. And it's going to be Hobby, who has 4 fouls herself. And a technical foul was just assessed to Wes Moore. I don't know if he took too much time or if he said something to the official. This is a strange part of the game to tee up the coach after one of the players just fouled out. But instead of 2 free throws here for Shepherd, she's going to get 4 free throws. Up by 5 with 44 seconds left.
Oh, and this is where you'd love to be on the floor to get the clarification from the official, but you knew that the official was asking for Wes Moore to make the substitution.
Yeah, we're getting the word that they took too much time to make the sub, and it was a delay of game. Technical foul. Sending Shepherd to the line, and I mean, they worked really hard to cut it from 9 to 5. I got a feeling they might find themselves down by 9 in a couple seconds here. And because of the tee, Hokies get the ball, so she gets 2 more free throws and the ball, and that just might be the nail in the coffin to the Wolfpack's undefeated record.
Huge turn of events there. And how about Shepherd? I mean, just cool as can be at the line.
She had 24 on Sunday in Raleigh. After that miss, she's got 24 today. After scoring none in the first half. Asia 8 of 10 from the line. Wolfpack need a steal, and they need it fast, and they give the foul instead to Shepherd, who is feeling mighty comfortable from the charity stripe.
A terrific game plan put together, really by both teams. I love the way that NC State adjusted and came with the double on Liz Kitley, made it a very difficult time for her to score inside. And then on the other end, I mean, you could tell, I think defense was preached all day long in practice this week because Virginia Tech got the memo. And they really made it difficult for these NC State players to get going.
Kelly. Perez, wow, chance for a 3-point play with 36 seconds to go.
That's just discipline right there. You cannot foul in that situation. The crossover.
Wasn't much contact, but apparently enough. Perez drains it back to a 7-point game. I'll tell you, this still feels like we're a long way from the finish line. This Wolfpack team just will not die as Virginia Tech tries to make a little history. 2 of them combined for 21 points. Crutchfield and Brown Turner combined for 43 in Sunday in Raleigh. And here's King to the line. And a quiet second half in OT for Kayla King. She's played excellent defense, had 3 gigantic triples in the first half when Kitley and Shepherd were virtually silent.
Why is Camille Hobby not in the game? She has not fouled out, and she can shoot the 3.
Good question. Genesis Bryant off the bench will launch. Shepherd the rebound, and that might do it. Bryant fouls her, and the Hokies up by 8 with 2 more free throws and 25.7 on the clock.
The longest last minute that I've been a part of in a while, but you got to think Kenny Brooks.
Imagine how long it feels for Kenny.
I mean, he has seen this play out so differently for his team time and time again.
He told us a story about the phone call that he had with Elizabeth Kitley, waiting for her to commit. She texted him and said, "Coach, can I call you at 9?" 9 came and went. 9:30 came and went. Then Kitley texted, said, "Hey, Coach, can I call you in 15?" He said it was the longest 15 of his life. Then she called, and Kenny Brooks said she wanted a small talk for 5 minutes.
That's right.
And then she finally said, Coach, I'm coming to Blacksburg.
He said he knew that was the beginning. He said to have a big post that can score in this conference means everything, and he was going to build his program around Liz Kitley.
She's been a difference maker, as has Asia Shepherd, who's got 28 points since halftime. And the Hokies have made history today at Castle Coliseum. They knock off the number 2 team in the land. 81-71, Virginia Tech finally experiences triumph.
It was a long time coming, but you learn about yourself in defeat, especially when it comes in the kind of numbers we've seen for Virginia Tech. But they came back